Why is embracing failure such an important part of change? Whether you're going through transformational change, whether it's rapid growth, or whether it's continuous improvement, failure is part of the change process. And to understand why, it might be useful to think of this in terms of being on a firing range. I'm not talking about being in front of a firing squad. I know change is scary, but you're probably not going to die from it. So let's think about this in terms of being on a firing range. This is me on a firing range in the middle of the desert. And in case you're wondering, when this photograph was taken, I did feel a bit like James Bond. The reality, of course, is less glamorous than that. But what you need to know is the first thing that you do is you put down your first 5 sighting rounds. And then you have a look at the target to see where they've fallen. And they are almost certainly not going to be on bullseye, and they're going to be a bit spread out for a few reasons. Number one, I'm not James Bond, sadly, none of us are. But also, I haven't shot for a while, I haven't adjusted for the prevailing conditions. So I will adjust my point of aim and then fire 5 or 10 more, and then have another look at my target. And hopefully I've started to bring those rounds closer to the bullseye. And at this point, I might think, right, how do I tighten my grouping up? So I might make an adjustment to my stance so that I don't shuffle around as much in between shots. And then I'm going to fire 5 or 10 more and then have another look at my target. And hopefully I've started to bring those rounds closer to the bullseye and a closer grouping. The point is this. When you go through any kind of change, you are very unlikely to hit the bullseye first time round, particularly transformational change, because you're essentially aiming at a new target. But also, no matter where you are in the change process, it is an iterative process. You refine your processes through testing and adjusting, through trial and error. The key word here being error. So if you are going through change, you must expect mistakes because you haven't done this stuff before and you're unlikely to get it right first time round. The only way that you're going to improve is by having the courage to take a look at the target and to see where the rounds are missing the target. The only way you're going to refine your processes is by having the courage to look at where the mistakes are happening. Then you can leverage those mistakes, learn from them, and make those improvements. So if you're going through change and you're thinking, oh, we're not making any mistakes, it's probably because you're not looking for them. The other way to look at it is if you're going through change and you're making mistakes, that's actually a sign that you're progressing and you have the courage to look for where you can make those improvements. So I hope that helps you to kind of reframe how you see failure as a really necessary part of the change process. Hope that helps. Take care. Bye-bye.